You're listening to DraftKings Network.
Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. If you're a smoker or dipper looking to make a change, you really only need one reason to do it. But with Zyn nicotine pouches, you can find many. Zyn is America's #1 nicotine pouch. It's made with only 6 simple ingredients. There are lots of options when it comes to nicotine satisfaction, but there's only one Zyn. Learn more about Zyn and find your reason to make a change by registering online at Zyn.com.
Smirnoff knows there's no I in football. Football is a we thing, an experience that is best enjoyed together with good drinks and good people. Smirnoff is the world's #1 vodka and is an official vodka partner of the NFL. And this year, Smirnoff is giving fans in select areas of the country a chance to win the ultimate game day experience. From tickets to sideline passes and much more, just head to WeDoGameDays.com until November 15, 2024 to enter for your chance to win. That's WeDoGameDays.com. Smirnoff, we do game days.
Please drink responsibly. Smirnoff No. 21 Vodka, distilled from grain, 40% alcohol by volume. The Smirnoff Company, New York, New York. Please do not share with anyone under legal drinking age. No purchase necessary. 21 plus. Ends November 15, 2024. See rules at website for participating area and other important details. Sponsored by Diageo Americas Inc., New York, New York.
Welcome to the Big Suey, presented by DraftKings.
Why are you listening to this show?
The podcast that seems very similar to the other Dan Le Batard podcast.
I'm sorry, I'm not going to apologize for that.
In fact, the only difference seems to be this imaging.
I have been tempted in restaurants just walking past tables to grab somebody's fries that if they're just there. That hasn't happened to you guys?
I've done it.
And now, here's the marching man to nowhere, Fat Face, and the habitual liar.
I think I have it right when I say, even though it's been 44 years, that the greatest call, the most memorable broadcasting call in the history of sports in America, do you believe in miracles? Yes, when the United States beat the Russians.
Yeah.
I am willing today to replace that with uh-oh. Is anyone with me on this?
I am.
I'll go with it.
Yep.
Are we in agreement that Do You Believe in Miracles is the most famous sports broadcasting call of all time? Like that's, if we were to get consensus on something subjective, I think most people can reasonably agree on that?
Yeah. That Giants win the pennant. But
Stugotz and Roy followed you there. I'm going to push back.
What?
I'm going to go with Do You Believe in Miracles over uh-oh.
Oh, and I'm going to go with a drive deep into left field by Castellanos. Folks, I'm not going to be sure if I'm ever do this again.
But here's what made it so great and why I'm with Dan. When the United States was winning that hockey game, I was not saying out loud or thinking to myself, do you believe in miracles? Yes. But when Tua took off, I was thinking, uh-oh. I was. He captured that.
Kevin Harlan spoke for a nation. Chris, can you just please play for me the single greatest apology and best comedic moment in the history of broadcasting?
Castellanos to lead things off. Jim Day's going to be taking us the rest of the way through this game as Holland takes over on the mound. I made a comment earlier tonight that I guess went out over the air that I am deeply ashamed of. If I have hurt anyone out there, I can't tell you how much I say from the bottom of my heart. I'm so very, very sorry. I pride myself and think of myself as a man of faith. As there's a drive in a deep left field by Castellanos, it will be a home run. And so that'll make it a 4-0 ball game. I don't know if I'm going to be putting on this headset again. I don't know if it's going to be for the Reds. I don't know if it's going to be for my bosses at Fox. I'm going to apologize for the people who signed my paycheck.
It'll be for the CW.
For the Reds, for Fox Sports Ohio, for the people I work with, for anybody that I've offended here tonight. I can't begin to tell you how deeply sorry I am. That is not who I am and never has been. And I'd like to think maybe I could have some people that could back that up. I am very, very sorry, and I beg for your forgiveness. Jim Day will take you the rest of the way home.
We have big breaking news.
We do.
Yes. Tom Brenneman is back doing his thing. He's on college football in the CW.
Oh.
And this week, he has a big game between Syracuse and Boston College, which means he will be calling a game quarterbacked by Thomas Castellanos.
Oh, wow.
We get to hear Brenneman say Castellanos over and over and over again.
Huh.
This was the day that we've been waiting for when it got announced that Brenneman was returning to sports and he was calling ACC football on the CW. We all knew who was quarterbacking for BC. We were hoping it would work out this way, and it has. A momentous occasion, a game you're going to want to be at and have fancy new headphones like Dan has on his head to be able to hear the new feed featuring Tom Brenneman. And if you want to be in that building, let me tell you what. Go to one place and one place only. Game Time. Wow. That's right. Yes. Game Time, an incredible app. Do yourself a favor. Create an account and redeem the code DAN for $20 off your first purchase. We were talking about all of these great concert tickets. Secondary market, sometimes it can be a muddied field. So what I love so much about Game Time is that it makes it easy. You get comprehensive ticket coverage, the best customer service in the industry, panoramic seat views, and all-in pricing. You hit one button, and there are no surprises at checkout. Chris Cody, what time is it?
Time. I want to talk some college football because Penn State, good God, man. James Franklin, are you always that? Stugotz dared to believe in you this year, and you just do the most Penn State of Penn State thing.
Yeah, but here's the thing, and this is why I didn't like the 12-team playoff, although I have come around to it. James Franklin is going to be rewarded even while losing that game, because if you look at their schedule, they're not going to lose another game the rest of the year. And I'm telling you right now, Penn State's going to make the playoff. So all the expansion did from 4 teams to 12 teams is give lousy coaches who aren't good enough to get to a 14 playoff the chance to get to a 12-team playoff.
I'm gonna get to some.
He's
of
a terrible coach,
okay.
Dan. He's terrible.
All right, Stugotz, the problem with terrible is there are some things off the field that he's done that have been terrible. Record-wise, he's not terrible. He's just always good enough to be the third best thing in that conference, and he did bring Penn State back from the biggest sports scandal any of us have ever seen.
Right, but he's not a very good coach, and he's always looking for the next big job.
All right,
he is.
Just you can say if you want that James Franklin is terrible. Certainly his record against Ohio State is that. He's lost against them the last 8 times. Ohio State has won that game 14 of the last 16 times. Ohio State is better than Penn State.
Right.
But before we get to college football and all the things happening in college football, let's play James Franklin here at the end of that game, doing what you have to do in this situation, which is hide that you've lost the game and fight with the fans, because we're now in the debris throwing on the field stage of college football 3 weeks in a row and fighting with fans.
You're going to be man enough to talk. What's your name?
He's yelling at a fan, if you're going to be man enough to talk, what's your name? I want to know your name. And the kid just scurries away.
This is what happens when we confront them and they get mad. Jason Kelce is being celebrated, and I'm sure the Swifties love that he's defending both Travis and that he's walking through your tailgate or your party, and he'll knock the phone out of your hands. If you want to disrespect Jason Kelce, he's not going to abide it. So you can have your video here, and I don't know if, Stugotz, if there are any consequences. Jason Kelce is taking a lot of jobs. He's worth a lot of money. This kind of stuff would hurt Jason Kelce if he weren't, in my opinion, at this point, pretty bulletproof on just about anything.
Kelce! Hey, Kelce! How does it feel your brother's
Immediately turns around.
Can I get a fist bump? Kelce, can I get a fist bump?
walks up to the guy with the phone and spikes it.
Yeah, spikes his phone at his feet. I imagine most people took Kelce's side on that one, right? Just once you hit him with the slur on that, you're not going to expect him to just keep walking and abiding. But are you getting the result that you want if you're the person who's goading him like that because you get your viral video of Jason Kelce snapping?
You most certainly are. That's what you're going for.
I think you want a reaction. You don't want your phone smashed.
No, but you're going for that reaction.
But I just think he was
it's your moment and you're going for it.
He wanted a reaction,
yes.
and then when his phone gets smashed, he's like, shit. Now how am I supposed to get home today? I have to Uber home.
What was the public reaction to the video going viral at the Georgia-Florida game? For one half there, it looked like Miami was going to have a more impressive victory against Florida as Florida led Georgia at the half because Georgia couldn't stop throwing interceptions. But then Georgia, we're all expecting Georgia to be in the playoff no matter what happens, even if they lose 5 times before now and the end of the season. But let's play this video of this cop just going through the stands, showing this police officer just beating people up.
It's just, I know it's isolated video. We don't see what happened before, but you see one cop laying on top of a guy, like jabbing him with his left hand, and then they pan back to a cop just wailing on this old man's head, the top of his head. It just not a good look here.
Just beating the holy hell out of Mark
as hard as you can imagine somebody dropping a fist down on someone. That's what this cop is doing to this guy.
Did you call him Mark Hockman?
He's got the hair. He's got the hair. Like look, when you this beating that's being administered, as much as I like Gators taking a pummeling, once this guy's hat is taken off to reveal that his head has been sunburned because he has the Larry David hair. That guy that is not an impressive victim to beat up once that hair is revealed.
How about that old guy still being conscious after that wailing? Is he still sitting up? Like, I would be out if that's just wailing on the back of my head.
There was another interaction like this where the cop was using the handcuffs as brass knuckles and just punching a guy in the face, and I don't know what this person did beforehand that necessitated that force, but the guy wouldn't go down. He just kept getting hit in the eye. You see blood coming down the side of his face by his eyes, and he just kept getting punched over and over again with the handcuff, his brass knuckles, and he stayed standing up. And I'm like, this is crazy. He also, they tried to tase the guy. They shot him with the taser, and he just ripped them off.
Okay.
What?
Well, there was
that guy was crazy.
Wait a minute. I don't know if we're talking about the same video because this same police officer did tase somebody. It wasn't at this game though. It was different footage, and there was a tasing involving
the same cop that was
same police officer
that was wailing on the old guy. There's another older video of him seeming to go to the taser a little quick with a guy who seems to be refusing to leave. But this guy, not the first time he's been tased, because you could just tell the way he's shielding off the tase. That's a man that's been tased before.
It's almost always funny to see someone tased, correct?
Not going to put that one on the poll.
No, but I just if I tell you, let me put it another way. You're scrolling through video, and all I've put on the subject line is want to watch someone get tased.
Private moment? Yeah, I'll laugh.
Just here's a video of someone being tased. I don't know what the next few days in America are going to look like.
Hopefully not like this video we're watching.
The reason I'm laughing at this now preemptively is I'm apologizing for what I'm not going to be able to laugh at in a couple of days when video makes an appearance of police officers behaving badly in other places. We can agree, right? Even absent context, we can agree that is not the way for a police officer to behave. And we can also agree that most people around that video are probably commenting that that's how that police officer should be behaving.
Using cuffs as brass knuckles? Yeah, probably not. Probably not police procedure there.
I need to know more, though, right? I mean,
but I'm asking you just I don't know. I'm just basing it on the sample size of what the last 8 years have wrought. I'm asking you a question.
It seems excessive.
Well, no, I'm not just asking you if it seems excessive. It's obviously excessive. I
don't know what happened.
It's without question excessive. Like, that's not police training on how it is you arrest someone, Stugotz.
Certainly not Hawk.
That is not proper police work. I don't know what you're defending, but I don't need much context to know the 12th punch, not proper police work. Beating on the back of Mark Hochman's head, not proper police work.
Fair.
But what is the commentary around that video? Because I would imagine most people are defending the police officer behaving as the police officer wishes to behave. Do I have this wrong? Am I bringing my bias to it? I've got it wrong.
I think no one should really speak on it without the important context. It's pretty dramatic video. And yeah, a lot of people are taking sides based off of not having a complete picture there. And I'm not always one to give the police a benefit of the doubt, but I am literally jumping in the middle of him across the top turnbuckle, asking the audience to count several punches to this dude's face.
I am certain.
I'm confused. Do you think people are defending the police officer's action in the video?
Yes.
I saw an article where they were saying, oh, if you see the guy's hand is around the cop's waist, and if a hand goes anywhere near waist, the cop has full right to just defend himself. So that's the only defense that I've seen, is that the guy's hand was
Mark
near his
Hochman
waist.
wasn't taking his gun.
That's fair. I'm just saying that's what the defense is.
His head was sunburned because he'd been out in the cocktail party all day. He'd been drinking since 9 a.m. He wasn't even not going down because he was conscious. He'd been drinking for so long that he wasn't going down under any circumstances.
But it's so obviously excessive. Don't you ask yourself, what did the guy do? What did the guy do? What did he say? What did he do? I need more.
If you must know my initial thought, I was like, on a week like this week, we really couldn't afford the races being swapped. Oh, old white guy involved and he's not the cop? Okay, cool. We'll move on. We're past the cocktail party. We're into election day.
How are we covering trade deadline stuff tomorrow? Are we just going to bury ourselves, hide under blankets, and just bury ourselves in sports, trying to just squeak out, are the Dolphins a seller or a buyer? I Stugotz, wonder whether any of us can talk about what Bill Barnwell is reporting in that weird Saints-Panthers game.
Oh.
The Saints had 150 more yards in the game. The Saints had 150-plus rushing yards in the game. The Saints also won the turnover battle. When those three things happen, they've happened 275 times. Those teams before yesterday were 275-0.
Mm-hmm.
The Panthers just won a game that's never been won in the history of the sport against the Saints. And that game, like Titans-Patriots, not in any way interesting except for that. The Saints started this season. Look at how fast football happened.
They were the talk of the league.
The Saints scored on their first 15 possessions and have lost every game since.
Yeah.
They scored on their first 15 possessions of the season. They alerted all of us to the Cowboys aren't any good. Now even Dak Prescott knows it.
Right.
Dak Prescott's wandering the sidelines, and people are reading his lips, Stugotz, and he's just saying, we suck.
Mm-hmm.
He's just saying it flatly because they clearly do. Like, there's not even any dispute for this. The fact that the Cowboys are going to Atlanta yesterday, and
we effing suck if you really look at what it is he's saying.
Yes, thank you, Stugotz. An important correction.
Yeah.
The Cowboys lose against the Falcons, and we can proclaim everything they're done. Yes? We can.
In Dallas?
Yeah. We can say Ezekiel Elliott was out for disciplinary reasons. When do you ever see that in that
with
sport?
him, occasionally.
Yeah.
Specific to that player, you see him get disciplined occasionally.
He was a healthy scratch, though, so it makes you think, right?
He didn't show up.
Deadline day!
No, he wasn't a healthy scratch. He was disciplined.
Well, he was healthy when he was disciplined.
He can both be out because of discipline and a healthy scratch.
If we're playing the transitive,
both right.
If we're playing the transitive property game, that Cowboys team got handled at home by a Saints team that just found a way to lose the first ever type of game like that in NFL history to Bryce Young. So I would say, yeah, they're done. And I would agree with Dak Prescott's assessment of the situation.
I love Derek Carr before the game saying, quote, "I'm not a savior." Has anyone ever spent a single second of a single day thinking to themselves, oh, Derek Carr, savior.
There were that 2 weeks where murder rates in New Orleans were down because he was performing well.
Derek Carr has now lost to every NFL team except the Raiders.
Huh.
The Carr family, one of the great losing quarterback families of all time.
At least Derek Carr could hang his hat on the fact that he wasn't involved in those other murders, but then he killed Chris Olave.
Right.
Are there any other families in this conversation?
I'm trying to think of who would be in second place. I think Dan is right.
It's a cheap rhetorical trick by me. They're rare as two quarterback brothers who get to play in the NFL and then both spend all their time losing.
The Mannings are the winning family.
The Olave thing was disturbing yesterday. I know they get out of that very quickly on the red zone. But I'm telling you, one of the funny things, dark funny, but funny, is my wife having just the faintest of tastes of football on Sunday. And every time she looks up, she's looking at me because somebody is being carried off the field on the shoulders of two guys, or there's a stretcher on the field.
People are praying.
Or there's a cart on the field. Right. And because she doesn't really care at all about football, she's like, how is this allowed to happen? Like, how this is so inhumane that they keep stopping these games because there are bodies on the field.
It's a great question. We don't have an answer, but don't you dare take it away from me.
No, I know.
Don't.
I'm just saying it's a funny thing to see through her eyes, because even I, for as much as I complain about it, even I'm actually immune to how often a guy's down with an ankle injury.
You got to show her one of the good plays. Show her like a guard pulling one of these days. Just be like, yeah, this happens too.
Uh-oh.
Howdy, loyal audience. It's Mike Ryan, and we're getting down to the nitty-gritty of football season, which means you've probably enjoyed more than a few tailgates, and right by your side at that tailgate is that beautiful white can of Miller Lite. From defending your favorite team after a bad loss to obsessively checking your fantasy lineups, football fandom is bigger than just Sundays. Miller Lite knows the passion that comes with rooting for your team, like the debate that sparked in 1975. Great taste versus less filling. So what's the best thing about the original light beer? Let it be both. It is for me. Miller Lite keeps it simple. Undebatable quality with great taste and only 96 calories. It's a beer that strips away everything that you don't need and holds on to what matters most. A light beer that actually tastes like beer. And the original light beer since 1975. Make your game time taste like Miller time. Tastes great and less filling. Let it be both. To get Miller Lite delivered right to your door, visit MillerLite.com/Dan, or you can find it pretty much anywhere that sells beer. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories per 12 ounces. Fewer calories and carbs than premium regular beer.
Stugotz here for LinkedIn. When you're hiring for your small business, you want to find quality professionals that are right for the role. That's why you have to check out LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs has the tools to help find the right professionals for your team faster and for free. As Meadowlark Media continues to grow as a content studio, we strive to hire only the best and most qualified candidates. Thankfully, with LinkedIn, they have made it easy for us to find them. LinkedIn isn't just a job board. LinkedIn helps you hire professionals you can't find anywhere else, even those who aren't actively searching for a new job but might be open to the perfect role. In a given month, over 70% of LinkedIn users don't visit other leading job sites. So if you're not looking on LinkedIn, you're looking in the wrong place. On LinkedIn, 86% of small businesses get a qualified candidate within 24 hours. Hire professionals like a professional on LinkedIn. 2.5 small businesses use LinkedIn for hiring. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/prep. That's linkedin.com/PREP to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply.
So, you want to be a marketer. It's easy. You just have to score a ton of leads and figure out a way to turn them all into customers. Plus, manage a dozen channels, write a million blogs, and launch 100 campaigns all at once. When that's done, simply make your socials go viral and bring in record profits. No sweat. Okay, fine. It's a lot of sweat. But with HubSpot's AI-powered marketing tools, launching benchmark-breaking campaigns is easier than ever. Get started at HubSpot.com/marketers.
Don Le Batard. God doesn't even know what this list is.
He was ahead of Tom Brady, who also won a playoff game.
A couple, yeah. That was literally the most confusing list we've ever done.
Tebow's got a better shot of coming back.
Give him a chance. He's got more
I'm mad.
I'm angry.
I want to leave.
Stugotz.
This would have been your day. This should be. You should own the sports media landscape right now.
I am. Top 7 guys. I would not want the Jets.
No. You.
No.
No, I'm not allowing it.
Give him a chance,
Wilson,
guys.
number 1.
No, I'm not giving him a chance. I'm giving him 20 years.
Carson Wentz.
I've given him my prime.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
What?
You got that right. We have breaking news inside the NFL.
Oh, no.
Given the stats that Dan read off prior to giving the score of that Panthers-New Orleans game, Dennis Allen, who's proven to be quite a terrible coach, has been relieved of his duties by the New Orleans Saints.
Huh.
The Raiders also made an offensive coordinator change. We're at that point in the season when the teams start making some play calling moves, and all of a sudden, Stugotz, everybody was all gung-ho on Antonio Pierce with the Raiders. And then when Minshew's your quarterback for a whole season, good luck with that. Good luck. You'll get excited about Minshew for a couple of minutes, and then you'll go 2-6, and your season will be done, and everyone will be fired.
Derek Carr has the most losses as a starting quarterback through 4 seasons, 5 seasons, 6 seasons, 7 seasons, 8 seasons, 9 seasons, 10 seasons, and he's tied with Archie Manning through 11 seasons. How about that? Derek Carr, savior.
Impressive you said gung-ho. Most people misspeak and say gun-ho.
They do.
Is that right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like Stu is learning right now. It's not gun-ho.
I did know that. Yeah.
What were the games yesterday that got your attention? What were the games?
The Xfinity 500 in Martinsville, for one.
Not the endings or drama, close games, witching hours always going to which. I'm talking about the stuff that alerted you to how good someone is. We can now close the book, right? We're in agreement. The Buffalo Bills are good. Yes, hard stop. Like they're one of the best teams of the last 5 years. One of the 5
Josh
best
Allen's
teams.
really good.
He's good.
I don't know about the Bills.
Okay, but if your quarterback's really good, so's your team.
No, not always.
With few exceptions.
I can tell you what I learned yesterday and listen, they had a bad loss a week ago. They tend to do that. But Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, that team can win the Super Bowl.
Okay.
That team can win or lose in the first round.
Perfect passer rating day, right?
Yeah,
he was
great.
unbelievable.
He was great.
He's throwing some absolute darts this
He's
season.
amazing.
He's had a couple of perfect passer rating games, and yesterday was one of them. He's putting up statistics that suggest a mastery that's unusual as they run the ball better than everyone in the sport. And they're beating a Broncos team at home where Sean Payton, all of a sudden, for reasons I can't understand, on 4th down is throwing a double reverse pass to Bo Nix.
That play worked.
I know it worked, but like what?
Good throw, good catch.
Yes,
I like Bo Nix.
You do?
Yeah, scrappy.
I was starting to see it with Bo Nix, and then that was a pretty rough game.
The Ravens can do that on any Sunday to any team in the league. It's absurd that Derrick Henry was available for 1 year, $9 million. They had the best rushing attack in the sport a couple of years ago in the sport's history, and this team is better than that one. But if they're up 10 in the fourth quarter, I still expect them to lose.
I mean, the Bengals game's going to be tough, right? Like, you could see the Ravens losing the Bengals game.
Yeah. Thursday
Joe
night,
Burrow
right?
has been good this year.
He's been great.
Yeah, he's been great.
Watch out for those Bengals.
Isn't he the there are only a couple of quarterbacks who have 20 touchdown passes,
He's a dude,
and he's one of them.
He's the dude that I trust to go into Kansas City and to upset Baltimore because they can't hold that offense below 13 points. And historically, if the opposing offense scores more than 13 points in the playoffs, Lamar Jackson doesn't win. I trust Joe Burrow. And I every week, I just find myself taking more futures on the Bengals to win the AFC just because he's got that it quality. I trust him. I've seen it. Proof of concept. Derrick Henry, by the way, who is available for $9 million, his yards per carry is now 6.3.
Crazy.
That's about 2 more yards than it was last year. He actually has, and this isn't a real national talking point, but he has a shot at his age for a 2,000-yard rushing season.
That's insane. There are 3 quarterbacks with 20-plus touchdowns this year. Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Baker Mayfield.
There's 3 5-touchdown games by quarterbacks this year, 2 of them by Joe Burrow.
Max Crosby is going to be traded tomorrow, right? When we speak of the Raiders.
Lions?
He doesn't want to be traded.
Owners come out and said pretty strongly that's not going to happen. I'm not going to. It's the NFL. Maybe someone gives them a Godfather offer, but both Max and their owner have been really strong. The second that there's an inkling of this stuff, they squash it out.
Have you guys seen games played, snaps played for Max Crosby?
He never takes plays off.
Never misses time of any kind. Missed like one game last year, and I think it's the only time he's missed time of any kind.
That's when I'll believe in the Detroit Lions, because I think in missing Hutchinson, that's such a special quality. The Crosby, Garrett, Micah Parsons, TJ Watt tier. Hutchinson was right there on the precipice of it. And, hey, if there's a game on the line here, there's a chance this pass rusher touches the football. If they can find a way to grab from that same tier and replace Hutchinson, then I'll get off my I trust two coaches in the NFC West thing, and Detroit's going to be representing
Put
the
it
NFC.
on the poll, please, Juju, at Le Batard Show. Have the Rams and Seahawks been playing that game for 12 straight years? Can you guys help me with how surprised you were or were not on Geno Smith dropping back to pass, trying to tie the game, and throwing a 103-yard interception return? There are certain quarterbacks. You know, I like these Sam Darnold stories, and I like these Geno Smith stories, and I like when I look up and Geno Smith leads the sport in passing and completions. But once that gets to a playoff game, I do not believe that will win in the playoffs. You can get here with your charming, quaint story, but your Josh Dobbses and whatever it is you think's going to win in the playoffs, it's not going to win in the playoffs.
Red zones, bad spots for those things. I was surprised, but then I saw he threw it to former All-American Cam Kitchens, and I realized
Twice.
This is just a ball hawk.
Mm-hmm. But Dan is right. Geno Smith can only take you so far.
I mean, but that's what we thought about Jared Goff, too, right? And we're saying that they're going to go to the Super Bowl.
But Jared Goff went to a
difference?
Super Bowl. Like, he's been to a Super Bowl.
Terrible interceptions in the red zone. That's the difference for me.
Well, one of the differences.
I mean, but Geno's had a great completion percentage. He's led the league in passing for weeks also.
Yeah, but he's still Geno.
Okay. I mean, that's what you would have said about Jared Goff, too.
Maybe.
It's totally fair what Billy's doing. The difference is that the last 6 games of Lions football make us think they're the best team in the league, and I've been watching Geno Smith have that game for a long time on what it feels like is the 9-8 era of those Seahawks. They're going to go 9-8 every season, and that's as good as they're going to be, and it's as bad as they're going to be, and they're going to be the same team every season.
NFC West has a bad publicist because I think people think that division is bad when it's just hotly contested. I trust those teams to lay a number on the road against the Detroit Lions. We saw it in Week 1 with the Rams. I trust if the Niners, who get healthy at the right time, march into Detroit without them not making a move. Mm-hmm. I trust those teams. And there was a feisty Monday night effort when these two teams played, when Geno went up against Detroit.
Yeah.
I trust that. Kyler Murray running around in the backfield like crazy with a back door wide open. I trust this team.
You know what?
I
trust the division.
I love a good stroll into an opposing stadium during playoff time, but not with Brock Purdy. I know. That's where I have to draw the line.
Okay.
If I'm walking in with Brady, I feel good. If I'm walking in with, Patrick Mahomes, I feel great, even though last year I said that's the team that I want. But if I'm walking in with those guys, I feel good.
What about
I'm walking
Lamar?
in with Brock Purdy, not Lamar. But I'm walking in with Purdy, I'm not feeling too good. I'm
Purdy
feeling like I'm
led
going
late
to lose.
in that Super Bowl against Patrick Mahomes.
So just to be clear, Stugotz is walking in with Mahomes or Brady, 2 of the best ever. He's feeling okay. All right, got it.
Yeah, maybe Goff.
All right.
I mean, maybe Jaden Daniels. Maybe Jaden.
No,
maybe
just
Jaden.
got
Burrow.
Okay,
I don't
good
forget Burrow.
analysis.
Joe Burrow.
Okay.
Joe Burrow. Feeling
This
good with
is
Joe.
the question that I want to ask.
Jaden Daniels.
Stafford.
Maybe.
How do you
Billy
feel
Gill.
about Stafford?
Nah, I don't feel
Dan,
great
how do
with
you
Stafford.
feel about Stafford? Did you see that pass at Seattle?
Now, you're walking side by side with Stafford into a stadium playoff environment. It's a playoff game. It's a road playoff game. How do you feel with Stafford?
Stafford has a great PR person.
Really? You feel fine?
People love Matthew Stafford.
Oh, he's overrated.
Moxie. But he's tough as
Hear about
nails.
Stafford, please. I want to hear about him.
Okay, again, way to go out on a limb with Mahomes and Brady. You'd stride into the stadium.
Burrow,
with
maybe
them.
Jaden. Yeah.
Stafford, too.
The thing that I wanted to ask
I don't
Billy.
know why I'm turning into Biden. Come on.
Josh Allen, is he on your list?
Oh,
Super Bowl champ.
yeah, Josh.
Come on.
Yeah.
Joe Biden.
Jordan Love?
No.
He's played out of that?
No.
Oh, man, you called him the greatest quarterback in the NFL last year.
I did, yeah. That was then. This is now. I mean,
It is exasperating the way that Stugotz cannot be held to any opinion from week to week, doesn't remember what he said, doesn't know when he's contradicted himself. The thing that I do think is fair, though, in however it is that we talk about this sport, for however it is that we analyze it, is Billy's contention, and I want to have this conversation with all of you, that you can't trust a single goddamn thing in that sport. That you don't trust anything, you don't trust anyone. There are like 6 quarterbacks you might trust, and you don't trust any other thing in the entire sport.
I think Billy has a guy that he trusts every single week, and that guy is Justin Jefferson. You were telling me this morning that you thought he was so great.
I mean, he is good.
Right. You don't trust him on a weekly basis?
Not
his
quarterback, no.
Oh, well, his quarterback.
Yeah.
J.J. McCarthy's interesting. I wonder what's going to happen there because Darnold's going to get paid in the offseason. And the whole model for the Vikings is to draft J.J. McCarthy and have the quarterback on a rookie contract. But how do you not pay Sam Darnold after this?
The crazy thing about it is that, like, on everybody's list of quarterbacks you trust is Patrick Mahomes. And if you look at the stats, like, I don't trust him this year.
Yeah.
He's not been that great this year. He hasn't been Patrick Mahomes this year.
Mm-hmm.
But when things get clicking, Dan, the Chiefs are going to take off.
Yep.
Get him now.
It
Get him now.
It bothers me that Stugotz is saying that Sam Darnold's going to get paid.
He will get paid by someone.
Just
He's going to get paid?
me.
You don't think he's going to get paid by someone?
It just bothers me.
I know it does, but he will.
I'm just marveling at the fact that we can't get a dozen people who can play this position well.
The Titans could pay him. Oh, man. Imagine him in Tennessee. It'll be a disaster.
In the world, that we can't scour the world, that ZipRecruiter can't find someone somewhere that can play this position so that I don't have to pay Sam Darnold and so that I don't have to watch Week 9 Flacco against Minshew game with no stakes because everyone's hurt and we can't keep 12 good we can't find 12 good quarterbacks and we sure as shit can't keep them healthy.
So Geno Smith, coming off a couple of good seasons, just got 3 years, $75 million.
Yes, fine.
What do you think Darnold's going to get?
Fine. Pay them against my will. Pay them. And you're not winning anything. Okay, we'll talk all season about Flores and Darnold, and you're going to get to a playoff game, and in the first round after a bye, you're going to lose. Why? Because Sam Darnold's your quarterback. I'm not going to be talked out of this.
I mean, but, like, if you go by the results, same thing happens to Lamar. Like, once you get in the playoffs, things go crazy.
Daniel Jones got a contract based on one playoff game.
All right, help me with what Daniel Jones's halftime stats were yesterday. It seemed like a riddle to me.
He had 0 passing yards, right?
Well, he was 4 for 6 for a touchdown and 0 passing yards, and I don't understand how that happened. I think he was 4 for 6 for 0 yards and 1 touchdown.
Oh, he had moxie on that run, though.
But explain to me what happened. How was he 4 for 6 for 0 yards and 1 touchdown at halftime?
I mean, it would seem as though he had negative receiving passes.
Maybe a Jalen Waddle situation where you catch it and just run back 27 yards.
He was 4 of 6 for 0 yards with a touchdown and a fumble lost.
He went 670 days between having a home touchdown. They paid him $160 million. Listen to me, Vikings. Over my dead body. Do you pay Sam Darnold? I'm not going to be talked out of this.
I'm with you. He had some bad throws last night.
You guys can't come to me with 7 games that have surprised you, or 8 games, and come to me and say Sam Darnold isn't what I've always seen Sam Darnold be.
When is the sample size big enough in which you would say, I would sign Sam Darnold in the offseason? NFC Championship game?
He's losing in the first round of the playoffs in a home game.
I think Collinsworth said last night that it would take them getting to the Super Bowl for them to keep him. That it's all set up for J.J. McCarthy.
You guys have someone else paying him, and I'm offended by that.
Why?
The Jets.
Oh, no, he's going to get something.
Someone's going to get. There's a Titans out there. The Raiders are.
Carolina should try him.
He's not going to get 50 like Tua, but he'll get something.
I think Carolina found their quarterback yesterday.
Bryce Young got his second coach fired.
I felt good for him. I did.
He didn't deserve to win that football game. He still looks like a kid in a Halloween costume.
He's been through it, man. Give him a W. I mean,
I'm happy that he doesn't have to lose all the time. It feels like it would
put that on a graphic.
In that
Dan
sport.
Batard. I'm happy he doesn't have to lose all the time.
I'm happy that he gets to win one occasionally, but they did not deserve to win that football game. 276 games have been played like that, and that's the first time that his team, the team on his side of the statistics, has ever won that football game.
Did Wally Pip the Red Rifle?
Maybe.
Because I don't know that the Red Rifle's going to get that job back. I mean, they have equal number of wins here.
Mm-hmm.
The Red Rifle I'm watching, and I see on the sidelines they say, and he's out this week, he and his family in a car accident.
Yep.
Hurt his wrist.
Mm-hmm.
Like the game's not violent and dangerous enough that he's always getting, and he's also getting injured when he's off the field, and that's Carolina football. Will it be Andy Dalton off a car accident, or will it be Bryce Young?
I have a fun New York-centric little social media riddle if you'd like to play along with it. It's cross sports.
Really?
And this is the question that people were being asked.
Okay.
Would you take 10 years of Juan Soto on the Yankees, but also you need to commit to 10 years of Daniel Jones on the Giants at the same time?
Cross sports pollination?
Yeah, so you get him for sure for 10 years, Juan Soto, but you need Daniel Jones on the Giants for 10 years as well. Do you agree to that?
10 years
Can you bench Daniel Jones?
Can he be your backup? That's a good question.
I guess he could,
You
right?
just assume this is dead money on your cap?
But he's eating up a lot of money, so your backup's not going to be like a super quality backup.
If I love both equally, and you tell me that I can stash him on my roster somewhere and maybe I can get hot with a rookie quarterback, yeah, I take that.
What if you have to start him?
If you have to start him,
If I had, there's very few things in sports that break your spirit outside of knowing that you've got no shot at that position. You're not going to matter if you have a bad quarterback.
He had that playoff win, though. You never know.
did,
Lightning in
yeah.
a bottle.
Second round.
Surround him with the right pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Billy.
He's a reclamation project for someone.
Billy.
Oh, no doubt.
No doubt. He's a
Someone thinks
reclamation-
they could turn Daniel Jones into
Exactly
something.
right.
Yeah, yeah.
Sean Payton, maybe that guy.
Yeah. McVay, I'm somebody.
One of these gurus.
There's something about Bo Nix.
I mean,
you guys
put,
seeing this?
You put Daniel Jones on that Broncos roster, and Sean Payton gets to the playoffs with Daniel Jones.
Thank you. See? We already found a home for
I
him.
think Daniel Jones is that bad. In fact, as much as made of his contract, if you look at where his contract is now slotted among
bargain,
NFL quarterbacks, it's kind of fair.
Yeah.
I think it would be fair.
It's a good question, Billy.
You move Bo Nix out to wide receiver 1.
He can do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's a good question, Stugotz?
The Soto question.
Billy doesn't believe a single thing that he has just said.
How so?
Billy,
It became
Billy,
a
I'll
pro
tell you.
Daniel
I'll
Jones
tell
thing that you were doing.
Yeah,
I was
well,
struggling to
yes,
support. I
no.
started supporting, and then I was like, wait, I'm not
Billy,
pro.
Still a
Daniel
mind
Jones enough.
twizzler, you know?
No, I'm going to tell everybody what happened there. Billy cares so little about every word that comes out of his mouth and keeps no track of the things that he says. So he just made the argument, and his heart wasn't in it. On you get Daniel Jones a piece or two here or there. And what, Billy?
That's true.
And what?
Second round of the playoffs.
Yeah, you make a little run in the playoffs.
You don't think
you get hot at the right
you don't
time.
think he has a receiver now, and you don't think he had a running back last year?
I wonder what
last
this
couple of years.
I wonder what this Daniel Jones would look like if Saquon hadn't been cast off. To be honest with you,
Not his fault.
not his fault.
Yep.
I mean,
Billy-
it is because he ate up all the money, but it's not his fault.
Billy, I'm going to demand that
It's
you
all Joe
take
Shane's
your
fault.
words more
Respectfully.
seriously.
Hey.
I need you to have more respect for the takes that you're giving. You did not have your heart in that Daniel Jones take, Billy.
He's
Billy,
what I
you
100%
farted out that
No,
take. You don't
no.
believe that,
I
Billy.
believe he's a reclamation project. Someone will pick him up and think that they can fix Daniel Jones. And if you don't,
You're just saying
you're not
words.
watching the NFL, friend.
You're not watching the NFL. I just gave you the stats.
Sam Darnold is starting
4
for the
for
Vikings.
6 for 0 yards.
Geno Smith signed a 3-year extension.
He's not telling you how to think.
He had a touchdown.
670 days between home touchdowns.
But on the road,
You don't believe a word you're saying.
I believe that someone will sign him. I don't think they should. I believe they will.
Daniel Jones has that Ryan Gosling thing going to him where each side of his face is completely different.
He's got a wandering eye.
It's just
Why?
not even lined up vertically in the same place.
Howdy, loyal audience. It's Mike Ryan, and we're getting down to the nitty-gritty of football season, which means you've probably enjoyed more than a few tailgates, and right by your side at that tailgate is that beautiful white can of Miller Lite. From defending your favorite team after a bad loss to obsessively checking your fantasy lineups, football fandom is bigger than just Sundays. Miller Lite knows the passion that comes with rooting for your team, like the debate that sparked in 1975. Great taste versus less filling. So what's the best thing about the original light beer? Let it be both. It is for me. Miller Lite keeps it simple. Undebatable quality with great taste and only 96 calories. It's a beer that strips away everything that you don't need and holds on to what matters most. A light beer that actually tastes like beer. And the original light beer since 1975. Make your game time taste like Miller time. Tastes great and less filling. Let it be both. To get Miller Lite delivered right to your door, visit MillerLite.com/Dan, or you can find it pretty much anywhere that sells beer. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories per 12 ounces. Fewer calories and carbs than premium regular beer. When you're hiring for your small business, you want to find quality professionals that are right for the role. That's why you have to check out LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs has the tools to help find the right professionals for your team faster and for free. As Meadowlark Media continues to grow as a content studio, we strive to hire only the best and most qualified candidates. Thankfully, with LinkedIn, they've made it easy for us to find them. LinkedIn isn't just a job board. LinkedIn helps you hire professionals you can't find anywhere else, even those who aren't actively searching for a new job but might be open to the perfect role. In a given month, over 70% of LinkedIn users don't visit other leading job sites. So if you're not looking on LinkedIn, you're looking in the wrong place. On LinkedIn, 86% of small businesses get a qualified candidate within 24 hours. Hire professionals like a professional on LinkedIn. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/prep. That's linkedin.com/prep to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply.